guys, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. My name is Stephanie and welcome to another video. So I think I am getting sick. I sound weird. I don't feel good. I just overall feel very blah, but it is November 1st. So we are going to be doing a very just cozy reading wrap up of all of the books that I read in the months of September and October. I have all of the ones that I've read physically, and then I have a list so that I can talk all about the ones that I read on my Kindle. Okay, so obviously, let's start with September. In September, I read 5 books, and the first one was Control Me by Ava J. and 𝖘𝖙𝖔𝖗𝖊𝖋𝖗. I rated this 5 stars. This is a very quick read. It is a novella. It is sapphic. It is nanny cam girl. It is very fast-paced, and it's very kinky and spicy. And I loved it. There were some things in there that I've never read before that I was like, okay, I'm here for that. I am 100% here for that. It's also single mom. I forgot to mention that. It's also single mom. Yeah, I absolutely loved it. If you want a quick, easy, fun time, that's what you're going to want to read. Also, because I think I'm getting sick, if I'm jumping around, I'm so sorry, okay? And also, sometimes when I read a book, I finish it, and everything that happens in that book just goes whoosh. So, there's that. I am so sorry. I feel like it's 10 times worse because I'm sick. The next book I read was An Arc of Paradise Coast by Suzanne Young. Rated this also 5 stars. It was so good. It has like romance, but it also has like a thriller aspect, and it definitely gave Outer Banks. If you like the show Outer Banks, definitely try this. It doesn't come out until February 24th of 2026, but when it does come out, or if you can somehow get the arc and you like Outer Banks, highly, highly, highly recommend. It was so good. I read it in nearly one sitting. Like, I took a break to like eat, I think, or watch wrestling or something, and then I went right back into it. It was so good. And then I read Leave Me Behind by 𝖘𝖙𝖈𝖎𝖆. I did rate this 4 stars. It was a good time. Like, don't get me wrong. There was just a lot of things in here that I was like, you're joking, right? Like, you're joking. And I just didn't like the MMC as much as everyone else did. Like, there were moments that I was just like, hell yeah. But then there were also times where I was like, he did that? He did what now? Yeah, I really don't know. But I still would recommend it if you like a dark romance. It's dark military romance. If that is something you enjoy, you might like this. It is like one night stand, enemies to lovers. Yeah, that's about that. And then I read Spring Harvest by 𝖘𝖙𝖔𝖗𝖊𝖋𝖗𝑔. I love 𝖘𝖙𝖔𝖃𝖃. This is a thriller that is set in a like music festival setting, and I really enjoyed it. I did rate it 4 stars. It does have like vampire-esque. It did kind of feel like a slasher in a way. I really liked it. It was fun. Then I read Burning Daylight by Emily McIntyre. This book is thick. I read this as an arc on my Kindle. I did not know it was going to be this thick. I loved it. I rated it 5 stars. It was honestly perfect. Like, it isn't like enemies to lovers. It is like kind of secret identity for a little bit. And then it's kind of like dislike to lovers because they're kind of meant to dislike each other. And it also gave me like the vibes of watching Gossip Girl for the first time. So I love that because Gossip Girl is one of my all-time favorite shows. And so highly recommend. Those were all the books that I read in September, but I read 12 books in October. So let's get into them. The first one was An Arc of Show Me How by Hannah Cowan, and I rated this 4.5 stars. I loved it. I have never read a book where there was like spicy lessons, and going into it, I was just like, I don't know how I'm going to feel because, like I said, I've never read something like that, but I had a really good time. I loved it. It is small town. It's a runaway bride, and it's kind of like fish out of water in a way. No, it really is. He is a tattoo artist, and I had such a good time. It was so good. I read this, and again, nearly one sitting. And this one is out now, and it should be on Kindle Unlimited. And then I started reading the Scared Sexy collection on Amazon. So I did start with Hot for Slayer by Ali Hazelwood. I rated that 4 stars. It was really good. Obviously, it is vampire and slayer. What more do you need, honestly? They are trying to kill each other, and then they don't. Yeah. That's about it. And I very much enjoyed it. And then I read Falling by Christina Lauren. I rated this one 2.5 stars. I just didn't think it was for me, honestly. Like, I just didn't really have that great of a time. And I think I'm learning that a lot of the authors that I read when I first started reading I don't want to say don't cut it for me anymore, but there's just something about their writing that like I liked back then because I was really easy to please. And like, I'm still easy to please, but I was even more easy to please back then. And so I'm thinking that maybe the writing styles aren't for me anymore. I still want to read another Christina Lauren book just to see if that theory is correct, but yeah. And then I went into Spicy Little Curses by 𝖘𝖔𝖈𝖎𝖑. Rate this one 5 stars. This one was my favorite in the series, and I loved it. I loved it so much. I'm learning that I love 𝖘𝖔𝖈𝖎𝖑's writing style and just everything about her writing in general and like her books. I think they are beautiful. To be fair, I've only read this one and then Pen Pal. I need to read more, I know, but I had such a good time. Obviously, there's curses. It's witchy. I don't remember much else. I just know that I absolutely loved it. And then I read Beautiful Nightmares by 𝖘𝖔𝖈𝖎𝖑, and I rated that 4 stars. I had a good time. I thought it was kind of cute, to be honest, so I had a good time. Yeah. Obviously, I don't want to say much about any of these novellas because they are novellas, and so I will spoil a lot. And then I read My Boyfriends Are All Monsters by Kimberly Lemming. Okay. I have on Storygraph that I rated it 3 stars. I think I'm going to switch that to a 2 star because I was confused the whole time. I didn't like it. It just was not for me at all. At all. I'm still going to give Kimberly Lemming another chance because that was my first book that I read by her. And so I still want to give her another chance and see kind of what the hype's about because I know she is popular. So I'm not scared off of her yet, but we'll see. Sorry, I had to do a little camera change because Scamp is now on the bed and he wants to be involved in quite literally everything. So, yeah. The next book I read was Let's Split Up by Bill Wood. I rated this 4 stars. I had such a good time. It is a thriller, so I did read it in one sitting and like, it is beautiful. And on the back, it says a must for fans of Scooby-Doo and 90s to 2000s horror movies. And yeah, that is 100% accurate. It was so good. It did remind me of a classic slasher. I loved watching Scooby-Doo growing up, and so it did remind me of Scooby-Doo. And it was just so much fun, okay? I don't know what it is about a thriller that reminds me of a slasher, but that is probably my favorite kind of thriller. I love slasher movies, okay? What can I say? But this one is about an it couple going missing and then coming up dead in this essentially haunted house. It is a haunted house in their town, and people who are trying to uncover what actually happens because they don't believe that it was an accidental death. They believe that it was murder. And so these kids figure it out. And boy, they do. The next book I read was Fangs by Sarah Anderson. I did rate this 5 stars. It is a vampire werewolf romance graphic novel. I thought it was super cute. I've been wanting to read this forever. And then when I saw it in like one of my little local shops, I was like, you're coming home with me. And then I read it the next day. And I absolutely loved it. If you have not read this, I highly recommend. If you like paranormal romance, graphic novels, anything of the sort, it was so cute. Also, I highly recommend getting it physically because it is beautiful. Like, ignore the wet spots from my cat walking on it with a wet paw, but it is a beautiful book inside and out. The next book I read was Burnt Bitter Better by Ava J. This one was a very quick read. It was like a novelette, and it is a little bit taboo. It is about a therapist and his patient, but the feminine rage and just the beauty of it was so good. It is so spicy, and it just leaves you wanting more. Okay, it just left me wanting so much more, and I loved it. I loved every second of it. The next book I read is technically like a nonfiction, and that is The Baby Witch's Journal by Astrid Carvel. I just been wanting to learn more about this side of me, and then I saw this on Book Outlet when I was doing my birthday order, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get it. And I did, and it is like very informative, and it has a lot of information that I didn't even know about. So that is super cool. It's also just very pretty. And yeah, I'm super excited. Obviously, I don't have a rating for it because I don't really rate most nonfiction just because I just feel like it's kind of weird, at least personally for me. So I don't rate nonfiction. And then I read If It Makes You Happy by Julie Olivia. I did rate this 5 stars. I Absolutely love this. This is set in 1997 fall, and I was born in the fall of 1997, so it was perfect for me. It was very, very cozy. It is a newly divorced FMC and then a single dad divorced MMC. It is a small town in Vermont. There is a dog. I absolutely loved this. So it starts off with finding out that she is getting divorced and her mom died, and she has to go to Vermont to run this inn for her for 3 months until her sister takes over. And yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. It is a reverse Grumpy Sunshine. So she is kind of grumpy and he is just a golden retriever, just a absolute sweetheart. He is a baker. Need I say more? He's a baker. Yeah. Yeah. So good. If you need something very cozy when you are missing fall or it's still fall to you, because in my eyes, fall is also November. It is not Christmas until after Thanksgiving. But anyways, if you want a cozy fall read, definitely check this one out. It was so good. And then the last book to talk about is Such Quiet Girls by Noelle W. Eiley. I did binge this on the night before Halloween. I did rate this 4.5 stars. It was really good. I can't tell you why it didn't feel like a 5-star read. Like, I was very hooked from the beginning. Was having a good time. Well, about as good of a time as you can have while reading about that, because it is about 10 kids getting kidnapped with their bus driver. And it was very good. I loved the plot. I loved a lot of aspects about it. So I really don't know why it wasn't a 5-star read. I couldn't tell you. But it did remind me of like a Criminal Minds episode, because you had the POV of one of the missing kids, the missing bus driver, one of the moms of the missing kids, and also one of the kidnappers themselves. So it was really, really interesting to read all of it and kind of be able to see what's going on from like everyone's perspective. It was super cool. I really did like that. And like I said, I had a good time. So I definitely will be reading more of this author's work, because there's a couple more that I'm like, that sounds absolutely amazing. So there's that. Those are all of the books that I read in September and October. I'm going to go and find some cough drops and chug some water and hopefully not lose my voice, because we also have wrestling to watch tonight and I don't want to wake up tomorrow sounding 10 times worse. But yeah, those are all the books I read. I had a very good reading month in October. I'm hoping November carries on that reading motivation. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate and love each and every one of you guys for taking time out of your days to watch my videos. As always, everything will be linked down below. My Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, everything will be linked down below. If there's anything that you guys want to see, please comment down below and I will add that to my list of video ideas. Again, thank you guys so much for watching and I will see you in the next one.